So this is the panel of my dog's blood work. I wonder how many times people just go to the vet, get the blood work, the vet tells them everything is okay, and so they're like, yeah, okay, cool, without even looking at the paper. So I had a situation where the vet told me everything was fine, and when I looked at the blood work, it was not fine. The hemoglobin and the hemocrit were all over the place, and I panicked, and I called the vet, and the vet literally was telling me, no, everything is okay. But that was so not true. So I went to another vet and got a second opinion. I really took that experience as a learning opportunity to try to figure out what the blood work is trying to tell me so that I could be a more educated dog parent. They can't speak to us, so this is a way that their body is communicating to us. So there are two components to a routine blood test: the complete blood count and the body chemistry. Pretty similar to humans. You know, the complete blood count tells you how many white blood cells, how many red blood cells, the hemocrit, the hemoglobin. The chemistry tells you a bit about how each organ is functioning. The digestive enzymes, protein, cholesterol, and each of them tells you a specific component of an organ system. I created this cheat sheet that you could get on our website. I'll link it down below. It has a breakthrough of what each category is, what it signifies, and the ranges. I recommend you do a blood test once a year, and hopefully you started when they were a puppy. That way you have kind of like their average, right? What is their average? And you can start tracking it from there. But if not, you could start now. Hold on for a sec. Thank you. Blood work will give you a sign of underlying issues, but it is not the full picture. Here are a couple of things you should keep in mind if you're looking to do blood work for your dog. Number one, make sure your dog is fasting unless the vet specifies otherwise, and well hydrated. So any food that you give your dog, if there's a lot of fats, those fats are going to skew the numbers. Perfect, thank you so much. Any fat trace can manipulate the blood results. Number two, ask your vet if the blood work will be sent out to a lab or if the results will be in-house. I would say not to do an in-house test result because those machines are probably not calibrated. And that actually is what happened to me. The blood work that I got from my dog was very skewed, and it was because they never calibrated those machines. They didn't have the time to. So the blood work was very inconsistent and actually scared me to death because it was just all over the place. Basically, if those results were true, my dog wouldn't even be alive. Know that there could be a huge inconsistency with you doing blood work in-house. It's very common in vets like Banfield, Von Vet, VCA. So just keep that in mind. I can understand if it is an emergency situation, but if it is not an emergency situation, try to get those results sent out to a lab, which is dedicated to just doing blood work. The likelihood of them giving you a skewed test result is highly unlikely. And number three, those values are based on 40 to 120 healthy dogs of the same age, but different size, different breed, different sex, and different diet. So if your dog is raw fed, know that those numbers that your dog is going to have might be a little higher than the values suggested by the test. And that's okay. There needs to be values put in place for fresh fed dogs and for raw fed dogs because those values shift to a higher bracket. If your dog is raw fed or fresh fed, here's some tests I would recommend. The T4 is for dogs that really like neck bones, trachea. The test tests to see how much of the thyroid hormone your dog is ingesting, because it could be really high. Another one I recommend is the hair tissue. That test tells you about the minerals in your dog's body, both good and bad. And the test is really nice because it gives you lifestyle recommendations. So let's say, for example, your dog is high in aluminum. What lifestyle changes you could do to help minimize that exposure? The gut microbiome test is another one that I really recommend. It tells you about the good and bad bacteria in your dog's gut microbiome. And if you don't know, the gut microbiome influences a lot of your dog's bodily systems. My name is Nelly. Let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to go on our website to download the Your Dog Blood Work cheat sheet, which gives you a lot more in-depth information as to what those values mean. And if you want to learn more dog wisdom, follow along at the Combine Dog. See you next time.